Hey, did y'all see the princess? We're about to get a black princess.
Is she though?
I mean, she her mama got dreads,
I
and
don't think she's black.
well, she mixed. She grew up kind of wealthy. I kind of
No,
view it from the standpoint of she still. You could tell her hair is, kind of curly, and she got to keep it
yeah.
straight. So she might.
She might have a little. I
might
don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I
see how
rather.
Jay's looking right now. That's how I feel
Mm-hmm.
I
right
can't
there.
question somebody's blackness. You know how it is in this world. If you got a little black in you, you black.
Well,
True.
she need to do some black card revoke. We need to see if she really is
Some black
a
what?
sister. Black card revoke. We need to ask some questions.
Oh.
Black.
How did James down good time?
Well, she ain't black, but she's black. I mean,
She she's not all the way Caucasian. Okay, so she's
Oh,
mixed with something
okay.
in there, right?
Oh, okay.
he
All
said
right.
Caucasian.
Cocaine.
You said Caucasian. It's like
Spell
it's a mixture of
Caucasian.
Sound
coke.
like I was gonna do a drug.
Right.
COKE Asian.
Yeah.
Cocaine.
Caucasian.
Caucasian. That's when he get his
I
dope
don't
from
know.
Louisiana.
Are the British ready for that, man?
Nah.
I don't know. They can't
Ah,
have too much color in the big house, whatever you call it,
the big
the big
house.
castle. I don't know, man. I
All
don't
right.
watch the Royals, man.
Let me
I
just
don't
get
even
this.
care.
And welcome into the Barbershop 918. You up in here with your man, Big Drew.
Big Drew.
And the one and
Yes,
only Raw Dog.
Huh? Huh?
All right, we got a
What
jam
about-
pack. Nah, you good, bro. All right, I guess I'll give it to you. J Rock.
Boom.
You did skip, did
So petty.
he said skip you.
All right, we got a jam pack show for you today.
Pack with jam, baby.
There you go. And a little bit of jelly to match. We got a word on the street. We're going to talk about everything that's been going on with the college football. A lot is going on with college football. OU fans are really excited. Alabama fans, not so much. Also, we got a hood topic coming your way. We're going to put a little bit of a top five in the middle of that hood topic, and we're going to talk NFL, NBA, the Thunder suck, and of course, we got our world famous, I call it world famous, final cut. All right, as for right now,
So famous, huh?
it's world famous now. All right, as for right now, it's time for us to go ahead and get up into the word on the street.
Word on the street. It's a sweet one.
Hey,
What's wrong with you, bruh?
it's been a long time since we left you without a strong beat to step to. You've
Say
listened to
that.
many podcasts, but they can't step to us or whatever.
Man,
Raw
you
Dog be
almost
saying.
had
Sir.
something.
Yes, sir. That was beautiful, Jay.
But we back, baby. We back.
What you got for him, Raw Dog? I mean, J Rock.
Okay, in the Billboard numbers is nothing good out right now. So I'm going to talk about the Grammys. The 2018 Grammy Award nominations were announced this week. Our boy Kendrick Lamar in his platinum album, what is it called again?
What's the name of that?
Damn, was nominated for 7 Grammys.
That's
Sean
right.
Carter, he was nominated for 8 Grammys this year, including Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Album of the Year. Also included in the Album of the Year is Kendrick Lamar's Damn album, Childish Gambino's Awaken album, and Bruno Mars' 24 Karat Magic, which seemed to have been on the Billboard charts
That's
for
for
like
winning.
97 weeks.
Speaking of
So
which,
it's gonna be a good year as far as with records. Even Cardi B was nominated for a Grammy.
he got a show coming. He's got a special coming on tonight at 9 p.m. Central on CBS where he performs at the Apollo.
Oh yeah, I gotta record that. I
Gotta
gotta
check
record
that out.
that. Yeah.
Bruno gonna win all the awards. Forget Jay-Z, forget Kendrick Lamar. It's Bruno Mars.
What about Childish Gambino? I think Childish Gambino, he got a nice following.
Yeah, but Bruno's more mainstream, man. I think Bruno gonna clean up. He gonna clean up. That's my word from me to y'all. Bruno winning everything.
Well, I think Jay-Z got 21 Grammys, so I wouldn't be mad if Kendrick got a couple, or even Childish Gambino, because they all had good albums that came out during the.
I think 444
timeline.
is overrated.
What?
Yeah, I think it's a little overrated. I've actually listened to it. Not that impressed. Maybe it's the production I'm not impressed with. Because I like production that's very musical, and this was I just wasn't impressed with it. I love Jay-Z's lyrical dexterity, but overall there wasn't anything that actually made my head nod like, oh, that's it right there. I haven't had a track like that from Jay-Z probably in the last 5-10 years, man.
Raw Dog, I'm gonna take that word that you use as disrespect.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth and make the sale.
Yeah. The only thing I took from that was Raw Dog likes musicals.
I said I'm a musical guy, not on like I
Now,
don't
you
like
said
people
you
that
like
break it out a
musicals.
song. Hey, I don't like
Grease, The Wiz, Chicago,
that.
Sounds
I
of
like
Music,
The Wiz. I
Carmen?
do like The Wiz. What? What'd you say?
Porgy and Bess. Top 5 musicals.
Pippin. Shout out to Ben Vereen. He was in that one. Thank you very much. We are way off.
All right, what else you got in music news? That it?
Let's say I'm gonna pass it over to my boy Raw Dog so he can give us the box office champs for this week.
Well, I don't even have any. This is a weird week because there's actually no movies I can recommend for you to go see on Friday. There's like hardly anything coming out. It's just weird. I don't know how that happened. Maybe they're getting ready for what's going to happen after this week with all the blockbusters coming out in December. But let me tell you what happened last weekend. Number 5 was Daddy's Home 2. Still making in money. Made $13 million. Thor Ragnarok is still in the top 5, man. It's been in there for probably the last month and a half. That made $16 million. Now, a movie that Drew brought up, Wonder, is at number 3 with $22 million, man.
Oh, okay.
So it brought in some numbers. Number 2, Justice League brought in $41 million. I went and saw it this weekend. Pretty good flick. Better than Batman versus Superman. Not as good as Wonder Woman. I actually did fall asleep in some parts of it. I'm sorry to admit that, but I don't know. I don't know who Steppenwolf is. I thought it was a rock band. I didn't know he was a DC enemy villain or whatever. I don't know. I wasn't. It was all right. Number 1 though is I'm in love with the Coco. Coco.
No.
It's an animated movie. Made about $50 million.
I was wondering what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, see how I just threw that in there? But it looks like a really good flick, man. If you're into animated movies, Coco's number 1 with $50 million from last week. Coco killed it with the Thanksgiving Day weekend. And those are the box office champs from last weekend. And that's how we roll, baby.
All right, it's time for us to go ahead and talk about television, everything that's going on as far as television-wise. And we've got a lot of different things. Netflix is going to come out with a lot of good stuff next month. As for right now, it's a bunch of good things to binge on Netflix. Jay, She's Gotta Have It. Did you get a chance to check it out?
I was able to watch the first 3 episodes of it. So far, I was talking to my boy Jesse. We both agree that it's kind of like an East Coast version of Insecure.
Jesse.
You know?
Yeah, we knew
Yeah,
Jesse
my boy
would like
Jesse.
it.
Yeah. Is it
yeah.
Hey, is it adult? Is it adult, Jay?
Put it this way, he texted me after the first episode. And that's my boy. That's my road dog, 100 Man.
Hey, yeah, we know.
He told me to watch it. He told me to watch it, so I had to turn it on, man.
So it was very adult because that's what Jesse's into.
The first episode.
Y'all just throw this man under the bus.
Like the movie.
Y'all
We've been doing that
Jesse, I ain't have nothing to do with that.
Jesse, no.
He threw me the oop, Jay. He threw me the oop.
Jesse already know. Jesse had trading cards. Don't even front, man.
Hey, man, you been leave my best man alone, man. He ain't had no
Hey, man.
trading cards, man.
You know I love Jesse, man, but I'm gonna tell it like it is. He
Oh,
knew the likes and dislikes of every adult performer.
Said he had trading cards. Like,
How do you know that?
I'll trade
man,
you this.
She likes long walks on the beach, and I was like, how do you know that, bruh? Anyway,
who trades cards though? Like who? Like in what circle were you like? I'll trade you this Linda Lovelace for that Heather Hunter. Like no, bro, no. You know, like who does that?
It ain't even worth enough money, man. I looked in the book, man.
You screwing me over on that one. So was it good?
It's a good show. From the episodes that I've seen, it's a good show. It's only 35 minutes per episode, so you can knock it out in a night.
So I gotta wait until the kid go to bed, basically, right?
Well, but it's like the first episode is really like the only episode where it's just like the movie, but then it's like it morphs into all the other stuff that's going on. So,
okay.
It's a good show, so you should check it out.
Jesse had to call you as soon as he saw the first. Hey, man, you got to watch the first episode, man. Yeah. It's right up my alley, baby.
He beat me to it. That's all I'm gonna say. He beat me to the call because I was gonna watch it and then I was gonna call him. Right. But he beat me to the call.
Yeah.
Well, all right. That sounds right.
So outside of that, man, like I don't know if we got a chance to discuss this, and we can move on if we have. But Chance the Rapper on SNL was.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that was the comeback Barack, man.
Yeah. And the first, the one where they were talking about Batman coming to the hood, beating everybody up and hanging them by their drawers. That's funny because that's
Family Feud skit was funny as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, how did y'all think Eminem did as the musical guest?
I think it's unique. I've never really known many performers who were allowed to do just one set, like to do a medley and just do one set. Mm-hmm. And that shows like the power that Eminem has. But I liked it. I mean, just in the simple fact that when you're at that status that he's at in his career, he's at that point where, you know, people don't really want to hear the new project as much. So come and do what the people want, get it over with. I thought it was pretty decent.
He did do just one set. I noticed that.
Yeah.
But it was a long set.
Yeah, it was a long. Yeah, and that's unprecedented. Like they don't really do that. They usually make, no matter who it is, they make them do 2 sets. It made for a better show too. You know, it flowed a lot better because normally after that second performance, nobody's watching SNL.
No, that's when they put the sleep. That's when they put the weird skits on, like towards the end of it.
Yeah, the new guy wrote that one. Yeah.
Yeah, like what's this? But overall, Chance the Rapper did awesome, man. He did awesome. He's got some acting skills. You know what I mean? You gotta give him props for that, man.
Yeah. What else we got in television news, Jay?
We got the Who Killed Tupac series. I started watching one episode, but I think you watched more of it than I did. And what was your take on it?
So last night I stayed up to decided to watch it, and it was, I caught episode, I want to say it was 2 and 3, and I think the way they sold it, it was bait and switch because I felt like I was going to be inspired and people was going to talk about, you know, who Pac was as a man, and that's what I wanted to see. And I think that's what America needs to see right now in relation to like just being encouraged. Instead, it was like this bogus investigation backstory as though they were going to uncover something new, and they just found a way to package the same stuff that we already knew and just presented it different. And I don't mean any disrespect to, you know, to the man that was hosting it. What's Mr. Crump?
Benjamin Crump.
But I felt like he was out of his realm. Like, you know, he needs to be in the courtroom, but he doesn't really need to be in front of the television, you know, and especially trying to play this role. Like there's this lady who was with him. She had like a trench coat on, like she was an undercover spy with, you know, she had this big afro. Everything about it just seemed real phony. And I mean, it was interesting to revisit some of the information, but it was just a little bit too cheesy for me to endure. So I won't be watching it anymore, but I hate that they wasted such a good collection of interviews and thoughts, you know, and different things that people were saying about Pac to waste it on that extra print. They were trying to throw that extra little side story out there. It wasn't worth it.
Well, Benjamin Crump hasn't done well in the court either. Basically, all the cases he's touched, he's lost. So he felt like, well, if I can't do it in the courtroom, I might as well do it on camera. but he doesn't have the charisma to be in front of a camera.
Yeah.
He looks like a hustler.
Yeah.
He's hustling us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like I said, I hate to admit it because I know him to be a good man, but you're right in that, man. His presentation doesn't come across one that makes you. It does. Just being honest, it does it makes you cringe a little bit. Yeah.
Like he's trying to hustle us. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. He need to go win a case. Stop doing TV shows and actually go win a case against the cops for once. He loses all his cases. How is people still paying attention to this man?
I don't know.
Bring back what's his name? Johnny Cochran. He won cases.
Bring him back from the dead? Like,
yeah, man, he might be all pet
R.I.P. Johnny Cochran.
Might be a little bit pet cemetery-ish, but that's okay. He's still better than Benjamin Crumb.
In the words of Johnny Cochran, N-word, please. Let's move on.
We need him back, man.
All right, Jay, what else we got? That's it for television news?
That's it for television news.
Then that's it for the word on the street.
Word on the street. It's the sweet one.
All right. So
that boy, good.
I know. I can sing.
All right, it's time for us to talk about. It's time for us to talk about college football. It's a lot going on around college football. The coaching carousel has began. Herm Edwards is linked to Arizona State rumors and other things. We've got
that's right, Herm.
Herm.
Other rumors were Big Herm.
Big Herm. Big worm, big perm, big. I don't give a. You play to win the game.
That's right.
All right, so we don't know what's going to go on with Herman Edwards, but we do know that Mike Gundy has made it very clear that he's at home. He's here to stay with Oklahoma State.
No, you can go. Go see what's out there, Gundy, because you suck as a coach, sir. You make bad coaching decisions. What?
Don't say that.
No. Let's keep it real. Mike Gundy makes bad coaching decisions when it really counts. It's not always about the talent. Yeah, it is, but it isn't. The OSU Cowboys have talented players. But if the coaches make bad decisions at key times, there needs to be a change. And Mike Gundy makes bad coaching decisions. Look at his hair. He's made bad hair decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if he ain't gonna do something about that hair, what are you gonna do about coaching the football team to glory? Come on, man. It starts at home on your head. I mean,
Yeah.
He has a mother.
But you know what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm just saying. I think it's time for a change. Let's get Herm Edwards at OSU.
I agree.
That's what I like.
Boone Pickens ain't hiring Herm Edwards.
They are not gonna be a fan.
Well, anybody named
Herm
Pickens
Edwards
hiring nobody with no melanin in their skin. I mean, that just go. His name is Boone Pickens.
Okay.
He might as well be called Grand Wizard.
What is wrong with you?
Well, you own one today, man.
Did I go over the line?
Yeah, a couple of times today, but but you wrong though.
I'm paying him money. I'm paying him money, man. I'm writing a check to Boone Pickens.
That's how you write checks.
Just like this.
Can you read me a new check? I marked it up the wrong way.
All right, so Alabama fell, and that opened up a big door. Jay, kind of break down the college football top 5 right now, the college football playoffs.
Okay, at number 1, they have Clemson right now. Clemson, they only have one loss. That was to Pitt. And they play Miami, who's number 8 in the ACC championship game. Coming in at number 2, you have the Oklahoma Sooners. The Oklahoma Sooners, they have one loss to Iowa State. They're playing number 11 TCU. It's an early game on Saturday at Cowboy Stadium. TCU's going to come to play. They're a little mad about the last time they played because Baker Mayfield, he threw a football like during pregame and it hit one of his players in the back of the head from TCU, and he missed 2 games. OU said that the guy, they were walking through their practices, and Baker Mayfield said he was just throwing the ball, and he just happened to be in the way. So it's going to be a big game for OU. Coming in at number 3, we have Auburn. They will be playing number 6 Georgia in the SEC championship. Auburn, they have beat 2 number 1 teams in the last 3 weeks. They beat Georgia, and they beat Alabama this past Saturday. And then coming in at number 4, we got the Wisconsin Badgers, who are undefeated right now, and they're playing the number 9 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. So right now, if all 4 of those teams win, those are the 4 teams that are going to represent, for the college football playoffs. But if one of those teams lose, then all hell is gonna break loose because everybody's saying that Alabama shouldn't be in this.
Jay, Oklahoma's not number 2, bro. They're number 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Who's number? Did I flip it around? Auburn's number 2. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Auburn's number 2.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So
if one of those teams lose, it's gonna be crazy.
I know that's your team and everything, but we got to make sure we got the facts right.
Thanks for correcting me, Stat Dog. Thanks for correcting me, sir.
Make sure we got it on right, man. but the thing is that if everybody wins out, pretty much the rankings will stay. If Clemson loses, that's when things. If Clemson loses, who are they playing? Miami. Clemson loses. That's when things get a little interesting because obviously if Clemson loses and OU wins, they got to get at least 1 or 2. At least 1 or 2. So if everybody wins out, then we know who's playing who and where. But if Clemson loses or if any one of them teams lose, it's going to get a little interesting come playoff time.
what if Miami, TCU, Georgia, and Ohio State all win? Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be a major headache for the board, boy.
They just put Alabama back at number 1. That's all.
That's what they would do. That's just the easiest thing to do.
But Alabama, they don't have a good schedule this year. The only team that they played that was worth mentioning was Auburn because Florida State, they had a bad season. They were 5-6 on the season. So all the rest of those games were against, bad teams. I mean, they won their games in the SEC, but the SEC wasn't good. So I would feel like it's a slap in the face if they put Alabama in right now. The only reason why Alabama's number 5 is because of their name and what they've done in the past.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be in the playoff.
I agree. I mean, it is what it is, man. I'm sure there's folks in the SEC that would tell us to go to, wherever for saying that. But, it's the truth. They shouldn't be in the top 5.
Yeah.
You don't lose this late in the season and expect to be in the top 5 unless your name is Alabama, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. So before we move out of college football talk, I want to definitely shout out D'Angelo Brewer. Wrapped up his career with TU. And he's now TU's all-time leading rusher. And I don't have the stats in front of me, but I think it's, Jay, maybe you know him, but I think.
That's messed up that his accomplishment kind of gets buried because TU was so bad.
Yeah.
That's kind of messed up, man.
Yeah.
You got to feel for the brother, man.
A lot of injuries, but he did rush for over.
Was it 3,000?
43. It may have been. It is the record. I forgot.
Yeah.
It may be. I think it was 3,500 yards.
Yeah.
Did he rush for over those 4 years that he was at TU?
And I mean, stand-up young man, great young man to know. Tulsa product. So right, I'm telling you, I feel like he's gonna do something great in life, regardless of what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I believe he's one of those sneaky NFL talents in my book, man. I think he could be one of those Tyreek Hills or somebody that kind of sneaks in on somebody's roster and does something big. I know he's undersized, but I believe in the kid. So I hope that he makes it to the next level, man.
He just needs a chance. That's all he needs.
Yeah. He's got the heart. All right, man. So speaking of the NFL, let's go ahead and get into this NFL hood topic. Jay, you brought this one up. You kind of passionate about it, man. What do you got, man?
Okay, what we're talking about today is, are black quarterbacks, are they put on another standard compared to other quarterbacks in NFL? And the reason why I brought this up was 2 weeks ago, Tyrod Taylor, the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, they have a winning record. They're in the playoffs right now. They had a bad game against New Orleans where I think he threw 3 interceptions and New Orleans just pretty much ran over him. They ran for over 300 yards. Offense, they were, not good, but they shook it up and they took him out of the starting position and they gave a rookie, Nate Peterman, they gave him the starting position against San Diego. Nate Peterman went out and he played horrible against the Chargers. He threw 5 interceptions in his first 14 attempts. 5 interceptions in his first 14 attempts. If I was Tyrod Taylor, I know he was professional. He came in and he had a good second half. He threw for over 170 yards and a couple of touchdowns and mop-up duty. But I would have been laughing. I'm like, this is what you guys benched me for?
I think after interception number 3, that's what he did. He was like, nah, y'all going to wait this out. He made them get those other 2. Because what coach in their right mind keeps you in after interception number 3?
I know he was on the bench. He had the Chris Paul voice. Oh, no.
Yeah. Like Andre throwing up a 3.
5 interceptions. Oh, no. What's going on? But the question is, do you think that African-American quarterbacks are held to a different standard? Because even if you want to throw in Dak Prescott right now, Cowboys are not doing well right now, and they've lost 3 straight games. And all you hear is, I wish we had Romo still right now. They're pretty much, they jumped off the bandwagon after Dak led to them a 13-3 season.
That's the usual knee-jerk reaction whenever you're dealing with a black quarterback. The knee-jerk reaction is always to go to the Caucasian counterpart. Like, well, he's not doing well. Let's put the guy that was in there before him, or put a guy that's like. Well, for years, there was always this consensus that the position of the quarterback required some intelligence, and that for whatever reason, the NFL and its coaches did not believe that many black men had the intelligence to actually perform the job. Well, they were wrong. There were some. Then, when they start putting black quarterbacks in the game and realized that they could also run the ball, they made that an ailment. Well, they can't stay in the pocket. They don't have the intelligence to stay in the pocket. Every time they get the ball, they just run like, the police are chasing them. And so it's a lose-lose situation when you're dealing with black quarterbacks, man. We don't have the rope. I don't want to use the word rope. We don't have the room to make mistakes. Now, I say that, and we're in the midst of Eli Manning actually getting benched. So it's kind of hard to, you know what I mean? I mean, how do we equate that with Eli Manning getting benched? Because he got benched.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the guy.
Well, because he cried?
Yeah, and
in the car.
No, he cried. Like, he tried to turn around and hope they went away, but he was crying right then and there.
Oh, that's messed up, man.
Look, here's my thing. I think it's twofold. Like, do I think that the NFL as a whole still has that prejudice against black quarterbacks? I don't think that it's in the same exact way that they don't want to give them a shot. I believe that it's like Raw Dog said, unfortunately, it's with a short leash. It's kind of like, I'm not going to have high expectations, but if on the same level, they're not gonna be, even when it comes to draft combines, they're not compared to the exact same way. The fan base, on the other hand, I think the fan base is it's mixed. It's a mixed bag, man. I think depending on what region of the country you're in, kind of determines how it goes, because Russell Wilson can stink it up, and up this way they are content with him being here. It's a little bit more forgiving to some extent, where it seems to be more in the South and the East. You ain't getting much of a chance.
New England, Boston, right around in that area.
Yeah, because New England ain't, to my knowledge, ain't never really been parading a lot. It was like 1 or 2, but I ain't never really seen a whole history of them parading a lot of brothers out there in that position.
No.
I think for me, the more challenging thing is, from a fan standpoint, when are we going to change? When is the mindset going to be changed toward black quarterbacks? Because we've been taught that all a black quarterback is going to be able to do is run. And so when we find a black quarterback that stays in the pocket, we don't like him. We don't look at him the same way. So I think we've got to look at it for, look at a quarterback for who he is. And sometimes I think there's that unreasonable expectation. Like, I'm repeating myself here, but like some of them really think that he should be athletic just because he is. And he's not. Some people think that there's, that, and then every now and then you get these guys who come along that fill the stereotypes that don't really help too much. They get into trouble and then do certain things, and that just keeps fueling it. I think we just got to assess each talent for what it is and stop taking a look at it from a skin color standpoint. Because truthfully, at this point, the league in the quarterback position sucks to me. It seems like it's just not the same anymore. Like the quarterback position has declined, and that's both black and white quarterbacks. I know that's kind of off subject, but that's just my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, it's sad when you look at things like that the league compares it, and even if you want to go back to even elementary school, and you see African American kids who were quarterbacks in elementary school, middle school, and then they get to high school, preferably in these suburban schools around here, they're like, wait a minute, we don't want you to be the quarterback. You're fast. Let's put you at a skilled position like running back or safety. We're going to get the son whose dad is the PTA president or the Booster Club president to be the quarterback. And it's been like that, all over the nation. And then even when you get to college, you have players who are dual threats who run and pass the ball. But then when they get to the combines, they're like, well, we know you run a 4.6 40, but you'll be better skilled if we put you at wide receiver or cornerback. And to piggyback off what Raw Dog said about the northeast part of the country, with Geno Smith starting on Sunday, the New York Giants became the last team to start a black quarterback in the NFL history.
Oh, they
now all 32
they've never done it. That is amazing. Wow. There are some cats in Jersey right now that are completely upset. Like to have that, I mean, that's amazing. Like not one, like all of these NFL teams, we talking the Panthers just got in the league, in comparison to other teams, Jaguars. These newer teams have already started African-American quarterbacks.
Like they had what's his name? Josh Johnson. He was on the roster, but Eli Manning never got hurt.
So it's the Giants, not the Jets. I'm sorry, I said the Jets.
Yeah,
earlier. Giants. Man, that is. There go that coat.
Yeah, Raw Dog had to walk off on that. Unbelievable.
I can't. No, that's when you look back at the history, like when you think about, like who did the Jets ever really start as an African American quarterback? Who did they ever really have?
Geno Smith and Michael Vick.
Oh, they did have Mike. Did they start Vick? Did they start him, or did he just go and sit there? Okay,
he started.
Like one of the worst examples best examples that I've hated with that was Brad Smith, who tore it up in Missouri, but then was forced by the Jets to become a wide receiver. And,
kickoff return guy.
And he was on, and I get it if it's your dream to play in the NFL, but that was a talented quarterback. And it wasn't, he did a lot of running, but he had a arm on him. And he was an accurate quarterback. Like he was a good, in my opinion, he was a good quarterback. And to see him, coming in for trick plays and stuff like that, that was disappointing. And I don't know, man. Like to me, I hope that a day comes where everybody is looked at differently. But these are further issues that make me kind of just distance myself from the NFL. The more and more I get to thinking about it, it's like, what are we watching, man? Like, what exactly is this product? Just everything involved in it. The comments from the owners, the blatant discrimination at certain positions, and all these different things, man. Like, what are we participating in? I understand we love the game, but I don't know. I'm starting to steer away from it a little bit. It's time for the top 5.
Not showing no love.
We love the game, but the game don't love us.
It don't. How about
top five?
Top 5 of our top 5 black quarterbacks. Since we've just got done talking about this issue here in the hood topic, J-Rock, you want to kick it off? You got yours?
Okay. Coming in at number 5, I have Steve McNair. Aaron McNair played for the Houston Oilers, Tennessee Titans,
I forgot about
and
it.
the Baltimore Ravens. Took him to that Super Bowl that one year. Number 4, Doug Williams, first African-American quarterback to win a Super Bowl. I still remember that in '88. He led up the Denver Broncos defense. Number 3, Michael Vick. You know, he's probably one of the greatest video game football players ever. You know, if you play on Madden, if you had the Falcons, you already know what you're going to do. You're not going to pass. You're going to take off running with him because Vic had a 99 speed. Number 2, Warren Moon, played for the Houston Oilers. They never got to the big game, but he had a big arm. And number 1, Randall Cunningham. He was a tall quarterback who had a cannon on him. You know, one of my favorite plays of him is when they played Buffalo back in 1990. He was in the end zone. He was about to get sacked. He pulled away and just chunked the ball up to Fred Barnett, and he caught it and went 95 yards. So Randall Cunningham is my top black quarterback of all time.
All right. I got pretty much the same list, man. I think the only thing I got different is I got number 5, Doug Williams, number 4, Donovan McNabb, 3, Warren Moon, 2, Mike Vick, and number 1, Randall Cunningham. Honorable mention I had was Rodney Peete.
Okay.
I kind of liked what I remember liking the Detroit Lions because of Barry Sanders, but then I really loved that they had like Andre Ware as a backup, and they had Rodney Peete as the starter, and there was another quarterback there too that ended up actually taking over, but Scott Mitchell, I think. But
Scott Mitchell, left-hand guy,
yeah. But I'd always admired because I had never seen like a team that had a black quarterback and a black backup at that time. What you got, Raw Dog?
Well, I got Cam Newton at number 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I guess the other 4 are probably close to what you guys. I got Steve McNair at number 4, Randall Cunningham at number 3, Donovan McNabb at number 2, but I got Warren Moon at number 1.
Yeah.
And honorable mention,
No,
Dante
you don't.
Dante Culpepper.
No, you don't.
Everybody get your roll on. Everybody get your roll on.
We forget about Dante Culpepper?
You know what? I had him written down, but I was like, to some degree, the way his career ended, a lot of people, remember he got kind of fat, and nobody really wanted him around for a little while there because he tried to get back in the league.
He was his own agent, remember?
Yeah.
He didn't have an
Don't
agent.
forget about Jamarcus Russell, a.k.a.
No, we will
Big
forget about
Drink.
Jamarcus Russell.
Marcus Russell was garbage.
Hot garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was.
I
Man.
mean, it's a whole long list of quarterbacks that we could go down the line and be like, yeah, he was trash. Like Sean King.
Oh God, Sean King, remember him?
You know what was funny about him? Like, I felt like he was a decent quarterback, but he had a learning disability, and they were like, "It's no way we can get him to put the." That's what they said. He had a learning disability, and he couldn't learn the plays.
Hey, yo, first of all, that's not funny. So I don't know why we as grown men are sitting here laughing. That's not funny, man.
Okay.
Quincy
That
Carter.
man got to learn disability.
Quincy Carter, yeah.
Now, okay, who was the one that came after Troy Aikman and on the cap? Was it Sean King or was it
Quincy Carter? Quincy Carter. Led him to the playoffs and got cut the next season because he couldn't leave the white horse alone.
Yeah.
Hey, like that cocaine.
Sugar booger.
Brother sugar.
Candy makes you dandy.
Dandy.
All right, so speaking
Rose and Club.
speaking of the NFL, our NFL teams suck right now. The Kansas City Chiefs started off 5-0, and everything was looking good.
You said they were going to do this. You said they were going to do this.
Because the team didn't look good winning 5 games they should have won, and they just didn't. And so, when your team looks like it gets scary. You feel something when you know your team is it's their year. Like when I knew when the Royals was going to win the World Series. It was in my gut,
Yeah.
Good.
I understand.
For me, I'm looking at the Chiefs and I'm like, look at this first round wild card losing team. Like the division is weak, but I ain't hating. If everything falls together and we go, you think I'm not gonna root? Yeah, I'm still go. It's my team. But do they have a squad that says they deserve to be in the Super Bowl? Do they deserve it? No. Their defense sucks. We went and got Teddy Pendergrass out of retirement. What is Darrell Revis gonna do? But I mean,
you said Teddy grass, Doc.
He looked
Shut
like
him
Teddy.
off.
Yeah, he looked like.
Light a candle.
So
do.
I don't know, man. I get it, and that's key when you lose certain key players. It is important, and I think losing Eric Berry was such an important factor at the beginning of the year. People don't fully understand. Losing our starting running back, yeah, it seemed nice the first 5 games, but truth of the matter is you still got a one-dimensional rookie, and all it takes for people to run a little bit of tape on him, get their legs under him, and they're going to keep shutting him out. And so we've produced another average running back, and we'll probably stick with him forever. Just because Chiefs tend to find one guy and think it's lightning in the bottle, Barry Word.
Priest Holmes.
Yeah, it's
Christian Okoye.
Larry Johnson. It is what it is. So I don't see. I think Andy Reid is the problem here. I see that everybody's kind of calling for everybody's calling for Patrick Mahomes to come in. I don't agree with that. I think if we're out of the playoffs, you bring in Patrick Mahomes. But other than that, why spoil a last chance to do something with this team before you have to dismantle? Like, I don't say put in Patrick Mahomes unless we're just out of the playoffs. Jay, how you feeling about your Cowboys, boss?
They suck. Let's just be honest, man. They suck, man. I know I made a statement on this show 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you did.
Saying what the Cowboys were going to do to the Eagles.
I told you that wasn't going to happen, didn't I?
The Eagles are good. They're very good.
They're the truth this year.
I can't even hate as a fan of football. I can't even hate. The Eagles look good.
They look real good.
My Cowboys stink, and it's just a lot going on. Ezekiel Elliott's not playing. Sean Lee is hurt. Tyron Smith is hurt. And they're bad. I mean, Darren McFadden, he got cut and he's retired. They play the Redskins tomorrow. They still have hope. My guy that I work with, Mr. Wilson, he said, if we win the next 5, we can make the playoffs. He said, we win all 5.
Okay.
Good for him, man.
And I smiled when he said it today because I'm like, hey,
Hope springs eternal, baby. Hope springs eternal, man.
Yeah, but we're not good. This is like this is just like season 1 of the Barbershop when I was sent with Matt Castle. They stink, even though they have like skilled players. They're missing that key element. That's Ezekiel Elliott and Sean Lee on defense. So, I mean,
and a decent coach.
But Jerry Jones is not going to fire Jason Garrett because he can check him.
Yeah.
Put him in his place. So
I've always said the reason why. See, I didn't even know who Jerry Jones was when the Cowboys was winning rings. I didn't know who Jerry Jones was until after Troy Aikman them left. Then I knew who Jerry Jones, because Jerry Jones never ran his mouth through all that.
He didn't run it as much. You're right. Yeah, he wasn't out there as much.
Once they won those 3 rings.
Got that Brown in his system. He was a different person. He fired Jimmy Johnson.
When he fired Jimmy Johnson, that was the beginning of the end. And he brought in Barry Switzer. They still won another ring, but that was it. Because the Cowboys became Jerry Jones' team. Now you got all these coaches, this kind of carousel of coaches that it went through, and they all had to go because Jerry was like, I gotta control this. This is my team.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run my mouth. You know what I mean? And that was Jerry's world. And as long as Jerry continues to do that, and as long as he makes it about him, it's gonna be a long time before the Cowboys can get to the land of glory, man. You just need to shut up and let the guys play.
You're so angry.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Your desk gonna fold here in a minute, man.
I'm just, man. I am a Jerry Jones hater, and I think that's why I don't like the Cowboys, because I don't like Jerry Jones. Right. I think he's a racist. I think he is akin to a slave owner, sir. Right. My players gonna do what the heck I say. If I say they ain't gonna kneel, they ain't gonna kneel.
This is the blackest show we have ever done. So. All right, it's time for us to talk about the NBA.
Everybody are racist.
Yeah, everybody is. This is all right. So
I'm gonna have to apologize next show, man. I'm gonna have to say, what you call those things when you have to recant what you say?
Yeah, you're gonna do a Stephen A. style apology.
I'm sorry, man.
All right. So the NBA, man, the Thunder suck. It ain't much we got to talk about here.
We beat the Warriors,
suck. Yeah,
we beat the Warriors.
And I think that's all. Like I think that was no excuse for us losing the next 2 games, though. Like there was no hangover.
But you knew it was gonna happen, though, right? You knew once we beat the Warriors, we was gonna suck for the next 3 or 4 games. I knew it.
Yeah. And we're losing right now to the Magic.
God. To the Magic. The Magic always handle us, though. Like, they always play us real close or beat us. Like,
so do y'all believe Carmelo needs to come off the bench?
Yeah.
Why doesn't our coach?
I guess I say yeah, but I don't know who he would come off the bench for. Like, in other words, there is no player on our bench that I would say needs to start over Carmelo. But I love the idea of Carmelo running the second unit. So it's sort of like
Kramer. Put Jeremy Kramer. If you got Andre Roberson in there, put in Jeremy
Grant.
Grant. Where did you get Kramer from?
Jeremy versus Kramer.
Look at him. He's a.
You talking about Kramer from Seinfeld?
Yeah.
My favorite character of all time, Kramer from Seinfeld.
Yeah, I remember that. Hey, man, put in Jeremy, man. Jeremy plays hard, dude. He's a good role player. And I'm almost thinking that maybe we didn't even really need Carmelo.
No, we didn't. I believe we would have had a squad that was similar to the years before because of the talent of Paul George. You don't replace Kevin Durant on offense, but you do. I feel like you do get a Kevin Durant-like player because defensively, what George brings to the table is great, and I think we would have been able to run an offense that would have been a little bit easier because the ball and we've discussed this way too much, but I definitely know that the ball stops with Carmelo way too often. And it sounds like a real simple complaint, but sometimes it just is what it is. You don't have to know all the X's and O's of basketball to just watch and see the ball stops there too many times, and it's necessary. Like, it almost has to in order for him to warm up. And
it's always a contested shot.
Yeah, he shoots us out of a lot of games and out of a rhythm. Now, the one thing that I do like that happened, that I like it, but I feel like it's going to be the result of a few more losses, is the team said, okay, after Golden State, all right, Russ, this is your team. Do what you did and take over the game. Mm-hmm. And Russ is still Russ. At the end of the day, he still has trouble finishing at the rim. He still, when he does what he does, it does not cause the floor to spread. You can have 2 really great shooters, and people are still going to close on him because they know it ain't even closing on him. It's just closing to get the rebound because they know he's going to throw up something wild. He ain't going to get the call, and it's too one-dimensional. Like, I literally predicted how that game was going to end. I said, they about to do an inbound, and Russ is going to jack up a janky 3. And what did he do? They inbounded it to Russ. He popped, he put up a janky 3. And Royce Young defended.
We only needed a 2.
Yeah. And he could have drew contact. He could have tried to draw contact. I would have felt better if he just would have went in and at least made the attempt. Royce Young defended it by saying that, hey, the Thunder, million other times Russ would have hit that and Thunder fans would have been okay. He missed it this time. Big deal. I get that, but I'm not happy with it, man. I feel like this is yet again another coaching thing. I think we suck because lack of preparation.
I agree.
All right. So that's it for NBA talk, I guess. I guess the only one thing I wanted to add in is that Enes Kanter is great, man. He's just going to keep coming at LeBron.
Troll King.
Hey, Enes is a G. Yeah. He is a G, man. He was like, I will talk about anybody, anywhere because I'm Enes Kanter.
Yeah. Now, you know what I love also is that, and I don't love this. I said that wrong. Man, I feel bad now. But I wanted to mention that Patrick Beverley is out for the season. And I'm trying to say that without a smile on my face. Patrick Beverley, he's out with a knee injury.
Oh, the irony.
The irony. All right. It's
Clippers curse.
Yep. Yeah, because Blake's out now. So you got Gallinari's out. Yeah.
Blake, stay out, man.
Yeah.
Blake need to drink some more milk and eat some more pork and beans and cornbread.
He just need to soak in some tussin. Just
him and Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
With a touch of Epsom salt.
Yeah. All right, fellas, it's time for the final
It's
cut.
Mr.
J-Rock, give them your final cut, boss.
All right, this final cut is dedicated to Michael Crabtree of the Oakland Raiders. This past Sunday, Michael Crabtree, he has been engaged in a battle with Aqib Talib from the Denver Broncos over the last year. They're both from Dallas, so it's I pretty much look at it as the king of Dallas. But for a second time in 11 months, Aqib Talib snatched Michael Crabtree's chain. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is that, with the NFL, I don't understand why players are wearing chains out there, why they're being flashy and everything like that. Deion Sanders did that a decade ago, 15 years ago. It shouldn't be there anymore. But it's an embarrassment when on your home field, you go out and you try to embarrass the other team and you get punked again. And then you try to punch the guy who has a helmet on and you don't connect. So Michael Crabtree, I dedicate this final cut to you because you need to get your life right. You'll be out for the next you had a 2-game suspension, but it got cut to 1. But you need to get your life together and learn how to fight, or even better yet, leave the chain in the locker room. And my quote is, winners win and losers lose. They all find a way to do what they do. My name is J-Rock with the Barbershop 918, and I'm out.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
Yo, pettiness is important to the NBA. We must have pettiness in the NBA. Let me tell you why. And I'm gonna use a word that doesn't exist. The funnest. I don't know if funnest is a word. The funnest game that I've watched in years was watching the Golden State Warriors play against the revamped Oklahoma City Thunder. There was so much pettiness in this game that it really brought back the old days of the NBA when players went after each other. The old head-to-head thing with Kevin and Russell, I enjoyed it. I watched it over and over again on my PC, showed it to my family, said, look at this. Isn't this wonderful? Kevin, clapping his hands like the monkey that he is. It was unbelievable. And then to even outdo the pettiness that had already existed throughout the whole game, Russell threw a pass to our center. I forget his name.
Adams.
And Adams passed it, and Russell looked at him like, "What you doing?" Because he didn't get his triple-double, and you can see Steph, and KD laughing that he didn't get his triple-double. Pettiness must come back to the NBA. All this hugging and kissing and acting like we're friends, it's got to stop. The NBA has got to get petty again because NBA pettiness is fantastic.
All right.
And with that, don't tell God about your big problems. Tell your problems you got a big God, and I'm out.
All right, so earlier in the show, I kind of made a joke about this being one of the blackest shows that we've done. And the thing about that is, and I mean this in the most respectful way possible, but so what if you are offended? We live in a country, and we live in a world in which our black skin has caused people to fear and hate and do so many different things. What you're seeing right now, whether you like it or not, whether you laugh with us or not, you're seeing 3 strong black men laugh, enjoy, and talk intelligently about the things that they love. This is something that's worth seeing. This is something that's worth celebrating. In the meantime, while you're on social media, you'll notice right now that a lot of people are outraged by what's going on in Libya, and so they should, because people who look like me, Jay, and Raw Dog are being sold into slavery every day. It is still existing in this world today. People are being sold into slavery. One of the key factors as to why, you could say it's economic, but we all know that the color of their skin plays a huge part into that. So us joking and laughing, yeah, we might offend a few people here and there, but you know what? There's a lot in this world that makes us cry. There's a lot in this world that can frustrate you. So excuse us if we possibly, try to say something or do something, to make each other laugh. Do something to promote change. Don't sit back, post a few videos here and there, sign a petition, bother your congressman, do what you got to do, get some attention, put some attention toward this. Use what power and influence that you have to try to stop the slave trade and everything that's going on in this world. It's just because that injustice there, you best believe, is equated to an injustice here. Don't distance yourself because of the difference in the skin color or the difference of where it is. It could very well be something that's happening here. So make sure you do something to join that cause. We love you guys for listening. We thank you for listening. And remember, hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. And make sure you check us out at
thebarbershop918.com. Find us on iTunes, YouTube, Buzzsprout, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I go on and on and on, but you know what the deal is. We are the Barbershop 918. That's what we do, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay?
We keeps it real.
You want my spot, Jay?
You
want your spot, Drew.
Because you ain't got it.
So my voice cracks one time, and you going to keep going. I got you, Jay.
Raw Dog was poking me. He made me do it.
No,
Yeah. I knew he was behind it.
I'm just laughing. I just laugh. That's Jay, man. Jay is on one tonight.
Yeah.
I love you, Drew, man. You my guy, man. You my guy.
He went superstar. When recorded one commercial and went superstar on me. I got you.
He said,
Hey, man, I went in the prize room, man. I went in the prize room, man.
You finally got in there?
CDs in there. Yes.
he got that hoodie on. That's what it is, Drew. He got the hoodie on and makes him do things he normally don't do, man.
Yeah. It's
Hoodie
like
J.
the common man.
Hoodie J is what they call him.
He's being very disrespectful. Very disrespectful.
I got to get to class, fellas. I'll see y'all later.
All right, man.
All right, later.